Back to Our People is a really beautiful documentary. Um, I think it was just beautiful. Visually, the music fits so well with the visual sequence of the images and the speakers sharing their perspectives. The words were so moving. It was really inspiring, and all in all, just so beautiful as a short film about Calypso and about people and the pride that they take in their heritage. Really, really great on all levels. Definitely a must watch.
This was just the kind of escape I needed. It was informative, but also just beautiful. It was really nice to be sort of whisked away to this island and to hear from the locals, to hear about their heritage and their connection to Calypso and learn about all that, all while being just sort of bathed in this gorgeous footage, beautiful landscape, beautiful people, and just a beautiful story put together really well. Great job on this one. I really enjoyed it.
Back to Our Roots was an absolutely stunning documentary. The shots were just beautiful. The island was, I mean, sort of did all the heavy lifting. It was so beautiful, and I think you guys focused really well on the locals and the landscape and how intertwined both of them are. Hearing the history and the heritage of the island and the locals and sort of their folklore and their connection to their upbringing was so interesting, and it was just a joy to see such a beautiful place and such beautiful people. Really great job with this. It was such a unique story, and I'm really glad I watched it.
I really enjoyed Back to Our Roots. I think it was really beautiful. I think it was sequenced together really well, and I think it gave a good look at this community and their ties to their roots and calypso music and how that all goes together. Visually, it was really, really beautiful, really stunning. And I think you did a good job of they're talking about calypso, so you're pairing the score accordingly, which I I commend you for, because although that may be a simple thing, sometimes people don't do it. Um, it was a really interesting story. It was nice to see what impact that music has on them personally and how they enjoy it, but also how culturally, historically, it also ties back to that. And I think it was informative and beautiful, and it really pulled on on the logistics of it, as well as like the emotional pull and the beauty of music. And I think music in general will always have that emotional pull, but I think you paired it all together very, very well. So really interesting piece and really well done.
The themes in Back to Our Roots were not what I was expecting when I saw Costa Rica. I had always known calypso was a type of music and dance. I didn't know the meaning behind it, which this documentary educated me on, that it means different things to different people, and about finding their own calypsos. It was an interesting educational experience. I do love the theme of going back to your roots and finding it, because if you don't learn it, it's going to be lost. There's a reason older generations used to tell stories of times past, and I know people now don't want to hear it, but there's a reason it's always been done throughout history. It's because people's roots do define who they are, and that's what this documentary showed. So, and they showed how important it is to go back to your roots so things don't get lost. Because there are things you can learn from the past. And the Maori people actually have said in the past that that part of their own culture is, if you go to in order to look to the future, you have to look into the past. And I think most people would learn that, and they would, if we could all do that, we would be able to each find our own calypsos.
Back to Our Roots was very interesting because it tackles two different uh, topics that I never expected to work hand in hand, and that's the topic of civil rights and racism and music, and making your voice heard through music. And well, that's always been a form of our history, this documentary framed it from a different angle where it's more of an active attempt to deal with the problem of using music to spread the word and unite, which I found to be a very interesting topic that I surprisingly hadn't put two and two together. But yeah, I definitely found Back to Roots very interesting, and it was a unique way of tackling an age-long problem. And I'm curious to learn more.
Back to our roots. I thought this was really interesting. I thought it was a really good take on identity and how much your culture can mean to you and can really dictate kind of how you view the world, and how culture isn't just, you know, ancestors and an actual physical location. It can transcend and it can be more than that. And it can be music, and it can be stories, and it can be history, and it can be all of these different aspects that make up culture and what it means to you and how you carry it with you and how you honor those that came before you. And I thought that this was just a really beautiful way of not only helping describe and explain this particular culture and what it means to these people, but in addition to that, addressing a larger issue, and not only what their history and what their culture means to them, but what they want their legacy to be moving forward and what they want their impact to be on, you know, the world as a whole. And I just thought this was a really, really beautiful and lovely way of showing all that.